Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you're all well. I've come down to Puerto Calero and thought I'd have a little walk around, do a little live weather, have a little chat. So if you, sorry, camera's up here, isn't it? So if you are online, come and say hi. Hope you're all well. Weather-wise, this week in Lanzarote, it's actually been glorious right up until yesterday. Yesterday the weather changed. We had a weather front come in, the polar vortex came in, which meant we had quite heavy rain, maybe from about 3 o'clock yesterday through till about 5-ish, couple of hours. It did come down and it was very heavy when it came down, so the temperatures dropped. But earlier on in the week we'd actually had some gorgeous temperatures. We were reaching 23, 24 degrees. In the evenings it's been dropping to round about 17 or 18, so very different weather to what we usually have in February. That is quite unusual for February weather. It's felt very much more summery like, and if you've been in the sun, geez, you must have had 26, 27 degrees or more. It will have felt beautiful and warm. Now, as you can see in the background, there are some clouds still hanging around. The weather front that came in is going to remain for the next couple of days. That's meaning temperatures at the moment, I would say 21, 22 degrees or so in the daytime. As you can see, down in Puerto Calero, there's some gorgeous views around here. A few people on there watching. I can see Yvonne's on. Hello Yvonne, how are you? Happy Saturday to you, my darling. So the next few days do look to remain. I think we're going to get highs around about 20 or 21. Lows, I would say maybe 16 or so. And then into the middle of next week, it does look like the weather's going to break and we're going to get a little bit warmer weather again. There is a lot of weather fronts around at the moment. We've got one off to the west of us and one to the east of us, and the wind predominantly here in Lanzarote is a northeasterly, those trade winds. That's what gives us the climate. That's what keeps all of the wind, all of the rain away and all of the cloud away as well. When that changes, as it did this week, we were seeing a southeasterly wind. That meant that we got those warmer temperatures because, of course, that is then bringing the hot air off the coast of Africa and up and along, which is why it was so gorgeous and pleasant. And we are still seeing today kind of an easterly. There is a bit of a Calero on the horizon, some hot dust that has come over, so we are witnessing that as well. And the wind at the moment doesn't really know what it's doing. It's coming around all over the place, blowing away from all angles. So if you're online and you want to ask me a question, I'm here to have a little chat. I've got a couple of minutes, having a little walk. Thought I would bring you through into Puerto Calero. And next Saturday, it's not a challenge weather next Saturday, but there is a wonderful charity event in Playa Blanca being held at Havana from 2 till 6. And just Julie has been asked to draw the raffle. I will also be down there with my company, with Abundance and Health, selling some of our products. So if you're here on holiday, come down, come say hello to me, come and have a look. There are some wonderful stalls at the charity event. There's clothes, there's going to be makeup, there's food, there's cakes. So come down 2 till 6 at Havana in Playa Blanca for the charity. The lovely Kathy raising money for 2 charities, Perpetuate, which is a charity for people affected by cancer, and also for the Kennel Club, so helping all the lovely doggies and puppies on the island. That's what we got on. Stephen, looking forward to your walk. You're going to walk from Puerto del Carmen to here in Puerto Calero. Roll on May. It is gorgeous actually to walk along and walk in between the resorts, and yes, from Calero to Carmen and vice versa is a beautiful walk. Stop and let you have a look. Obviously down in Puerto Calero, all of the boats are on here, and I'm stood with the restaurants and the bars just to the other side of me. Lynn, hello Lynn, you're heading to Playa Blanca on the 26th. Fingers crossed for good weather. A little bit too early to say yet. I say this all the time. Around about 3 days is a good guide for weather here, because we are a tiny island in such a huge, massive sea. So we are very much affected by the microclimate. I actually had a meeting this morning for the charity event next week, and one of the things Kathy was saying is what weather are we going to have, because the venue has a gorgeous outdoor area which is where the vendors are going to be, and of course if it rains we're going to have to do a bit of rethinking and a bit of rejigging, but it's simply too early to say. Any of the forecasting models that look ahead more than 4 or 5 days tend to do that on a basis of two things, trying to predict what will happen, but they also then look at the averages of the weather over the past 5 or 10 years. So a long-term forecast is quite difficult to do. Quite a few of you on now, so come on, don't be shy. Come and ask me a question. I'm just taking a little stroll. My husband's gone up to one of the villas here that he looks after, so I thought I'd have a little chat with all you lovely people and bring you for a little walk along. For those of you that have just tuned in, as you can see, a bit of clouds in the sky, but generally not bad temperatures at all. 21 or so, maybe up to 22 today. Who's that on there? Rebecca. Any idea what the weather in April will be? All I could do, honestly, Rebecca, is give you averages. For those of you that don't know, I also now write a monthly column in the Gazette, and the details for the February issue, I'm in the February issue talking about the February weather, and I've just been writing the article for the March issue as well, looking at the averages. Off the top of my head, Rebecca, for April, I would say highs of around 23, 24, and maybe 17 or 18 or so in the evenings. April certainly is coming into the summer months for us, so it does begin to warm up. And rain-wise, I would say maybe even just a couple of days rain in April, but I will check that and I'll message you back later properly. Who else is on? Hello to Mark. You wish you were here, Mark and Sharon, bless you. Yeah, how gorgeous does that look behind me in the background there? I am honoured, and I do so feel honoured that I actually get to live here. Who else is on? Brian. What's the forecast for next week, please? You come on Wednesday. So as I said, Brian, really 3 days I can give, and that will be mostly accurate. So I would say 21, 22 for the highs. It does look like it might peak, and from Wednesday it looks at the moment like the skies are going to clear quite somewhat, but it's very hard to say that far in advance. Check my posts every day. I do post weather every day. Lily, hello Lily darling, it's looking lovely here. Is there much at Puerto Calero for a day visit? Well, Puerto Calero, actually, if I spin around, there's an awful lot of trips that go from Puerto Calero. Just further down, the submarine goes out. There is Catlanza, you can come on and do Catlanza. There's lots of pickups that you can do to do many of the things on the island if you're staying in Puerto Calero, but it's one of my favourite places to come. There are so many, if I spin around, there are so many bars and restaurants along here to come and have a look. And you can walk quite a way over towards the Ahachi Mountains. You can walk from Puerto Calero right the way down to Puerto del Carmen. So for me, I would definitely say there's a lovely little coffee and cake shop around the corner. Hello everyone, saying hi. Hello to Lee, saying hi, how are you? Who else has asked a question? Stephen, you've noticed the apartments have gone up in price over the last year or two. Yeah, absolutely. It's supply and demand, and Lanzarote has a year-round climate. According to Place in the Sun, the actual property prices have gone up around about 20% here in the last year. Such is life. Who knows what will happen with Brexit? Stay tuned. Plenty of estate agents on the island. I'm not an estate agent, so I'm not really qualified to give advice, but at the end of the day, Stephen, I would say you will always find something to suit your budget. Obviously, what you would have bought a couple of years ago, the prices have gone up, but you will always find a bargain. And particularly, there are some lovely areas. If you're going to buy in a tourist area, you are going to pay a lot more, but there are some gorgeous places on the island. Arrecife itself, the capital, is beautiful. I really do love Arrecife, and there's some real bargains to be had there, and some real bargains to be had further towards in the north of the island, if you look up to Aria and Mala, there's some gorgeous properties up there. So all depends what you want, it's all relevant. Let me know if whilst I'm walking around, guys, that's not too nice for you if you're watching, and I'll stand still and stay still, but I just thought I'd have a little mooch along. Who else is on today? Come on, come and say hello, come and ask me a question. Sorry Lily as well, thank you so much for last week for naming the cocktail the Meateriology. Have remembered that you're here and over in May, and we're going to go. I'm going to take you, we're going to go to you and I and have a Meateriology. So thank you very much for that. Lee, do I recommend, sorry, I'm having to turn my head because the messages bizarrely are coming up the other side of the screen. Usually they come up in front of me, but they're coming up this way. So I'm sorry if I'm having to kind of bend my head a little bit. Do I recommend any company for private transfers from the airport to Playa Blanca? Lee, try First Minute. firstminute.com do really good prices and have never let me down. When I worked in villa management, they were the company that we would use as a villa management company. Just in a message from my husband to say that he's on his way down, so I'm going to start making my way back to the car park. Sue, I'm sideways. I did wonder that, Sue. I am so sorry. Facebook last week when I was live was absolutely fine. Today it's decided it doesn't like the fact that I'm sideways, so I am sorry about that. Who else is asking me a question? Lydia. Can I recommend anywhere to exchange money? Lots of people do say that it's much better for you to exchange money when you're here. All I would say is you're going to get various rates in various different places. Two things really. Count the money when they exchange the money before you leave the shop. That way, if there's any discrepancies or any queries, you're resolving it with them there and then. There are lots of places that do exchange. You won't find much of a difference because obviously competition along the same strip if you're going into Carmen or into Playa Blanca. But usually you do get a much better rate here when you're in resort than you would have done before you come over. Who was that? Sorry, I missed your name. John. Hello, John. Good afternoon to you. Tuning in, watching me in Ayrshire. Who else have we got on? Linda, down in Playa Blanca, are you? Hello, lovely. Alistair saying hello to me as well. Lee Elliott. Afternoon, you're down on the THB Tropical Island down in Playa Blanca. Good afternoon to you as well. I love the fact that whilst I'm on here, I get to talk to guys not only that are here on holiday. That's actually really bizarre to think that you're in Lanzarote watching me also in Lanzarote, but it's really nice that I get to speak to people from all over the world. Not so long ago when I did a live, there was someone watching me in Iraq, there was someone watching me over in Germany, so nice that people all over the world. I think my furthest follower is a lovely lady who lives in Canada, and she has relatives that live over here in Lanzarote. So that's how she's found out and heard about me. Who else is on here? Paul. Hello from Surrey. Hi, Paul. How are you? What's the weather like down in Surrey today? I know you guys actually over in England have had a couple of glorious days. While it turned a little bit here, I know back in England you've had some lovely weather. Who else have we got on? Julie. You're in Northern Ireland and wish that you were here. Lanzarote's here waiting for you, my darling. Whenever you're ready, Lanzarote's going to be ready for you. Let me scroll back because I've just missed someone there. Yvonne. Can I say hello to Megan and Lucy? Of course I can. Megan and Lucy, happy Saturday, girls. How are you? Hope you've been good. Hope you're having a lovely weekend. Who else have we got on? Oh, Natalie, hello. Yeah, I know I'm sideways. Really bizarre. I don't really understand. My camera was sideways when I started. So I don't really understand why it hasn't realised that I'm in the landscape version. So I am sorry about that. I can't change. I did try earlier on, but it won't let me. Lily, can you walk to you and I from Puerto Calero? I'd get a taxi, Lily, to be honest. You can't walk from Puerto Calero to you and I, really. It's going to be quite a way. Much easier. Jump in a taxi. Or we'll sort something out. If I need to come and pick you up, I can come and pick you up. Don't worry about that. We'll get that sorted. Sorry, Colin. Afternoon. Looks a lot brighter here than it does in Birmingham. Is it a bit dull in Birmingham, Colin, at the moment? I'm sorry, honey. I'm walking down through the shop front and looking, and that sky does look gorgeous in blue in the background behind me. Nice and sunny where you are, is it, Stephen? About 10 degrees. Look at you. Maybe about 20, 21. I'm not competing with you there, I'm just letting you know. Yvonne, I look good sideways. Thanks, Yvonne. Is it that way, or am I still the wrong way? Should I stand, or maybe stand like that? Sorry guys, I will try and get that sorted out. I don't understand. Last week I did a live and it was perfect. So not really sure what's happened there. Carry on walking down. Any more questions? I'm literally just going to be on for a couple more minutes and then I'm going to jump back in the car and I'm headed down to Playa Blanca. Next stop with the husband for the afternoon. For those of you that are wondering, and Lily, you did ask me, let me come on around. There are so many shops as well. Puerto Calero has some gorgeous designer shops, so you can have a walk down and there's lots of places to pop in and do some shopping. Teresa, sorry, I am having to spin around. Looks wonderful and sunny. Yeah, the weather is spring. Lanzarote, we're known as the island of eternal spring. So I don't know if you can hear, the birds are tweeting. I'm just in a very thin kind of shirt today as well. So yeah, it is lovely weather here. Even though we had the rain yesterday, it's still beautiful. Thank you, Alistair, for wishing me a great weekend. Hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. Steve, you're coming next week. Any sign of a Kalima? Don't know at the moment. I can see accurately up until about Tuesday or Wednesday at the moment. The wind currently is southeasterly, so that is bringing a little bit of the sand, but it does look like the wind is going to change. If it changes and goes back to the northwest, then that will mean that the Kalima, that will blow all remnants of that away. Sorry, what did you just ask then, Natalie? How's the wind in Calero? Barely a breath of wind here in Calero. I just walked all around and I don't think my hair's particularly moved at all. Lily, have a lovely afternoon in Playa Blanca and a wonderful weekend. You too, Lily, a wonderful weekend to you. Finally, Dave. Hello, Terry. Davey from Brid in Liverpool. Can I say hi to Pam? Oh, she's your wife. Bless you, and you're coming over next week. Hi, Pam, over there in Liverpool. What's the weather like over there? I know it won't be as nice as here. Get yourselves packed and ready to come over. Clothing wise at the moment, there are still people around in shorts, vest tops. The beaches here, any time of year, always have people on the beaches. All I would say is, for when you're on the plane, if you have like an extra jacket or a hoodie, bring something like that over just in case the evenings feel a bit nippier. I think at the moment maybe 16 or so in the evening, so it's not super chilly, but just have something to wrap up in case. Thanks. I think I've just answered your question there, Steve, as well. I saw that coming in. Yeah, in the evenings, 15 or 16 or so at the moment. If the wind picks up, that's when it starts to feel a little chillier. Next week the wind looks like it's going to be around about 20 kilometres or less, so that's actually quite glorious. It feels quite nice when it's like that. Yesterday the wind picked up, and previously through till 10 o'clock on Friday morning we were actually on an amber wind alert, and the wind, particularly in the north of the island, really was picking up and rattling around, maybe 40 kilometre winds or so. So we're at least half that now. I've just seen that my mum's come on. Hi, Mum. I'm not actually going to be on much longer because I'm literally just waiting for Damien to come and pick me up. We've walked around Puerto Calero, had a chat with the lovely followers, so follow it back in a moment, play the video back. But I hope you're okay, Mum. Happy Saturday to you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to know the weather, as I said, go back on, repeat the video and have a little listen. For those of you that are watching me live, tune in next week. I will be doing my weather live from the charity event, and we will... Sorry, I just had a call come through. Take care and I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.